Kind of been a history-laced show today, and we've got more history for you history buffs out there.
Whether you're a local heritage geek or just simply curious, storyteller Erin Valley here takes us to downtown Monticello to check out the collections at the Piatt County Museum.
You know what it's called?
What?
The Gallery.
Perfect.
I love it.
Very nice. So from historical churches to old-timey tools and crafts, the Piatt County Museum is dedicated to deepening the public's knowledge of the past. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Pat Hunter, president of the Piatt County Museum. Today with the Museum Gallery, I'd like to explain what we're doing here in downtown Monticello. A challenge for museums, libraries, any educational system like that is bringing something alive on a constant basis. Because of course it's very easy to go on the internet to take a peek at something, but there's always a challenge between looking at something on a screen and actually visually seeing something. We'll start off with our big display. This is I started off with prairie structures because, of course, one of the things that's very easy to overlook is what built this area. The first segment of prairie structures are churches. This is one of the last areas really settled in Illinois, the reason being because of the late arrival of the railroads. So people who lived here lived very far apart. The idea of social activity was very important. And churches, they provided that. But the degree of architecture is absolutely stunning. This gives us a nice overview of what was happening in Piatt County. Then here, we start off, we thought, well, there's a lot of history, a lot of points of interest in Piatt County. And with this, we've included GPS coordinates for those who want to actually get to that particular site. You can go out, punch these coordinates in, and this is what you're going to be taking a peek at. What we don't realize is there are a lot of important things happen in Piatt County, happen in all these different counties. It's just in these smaller areas, especially these rural areas, we don't always have the big stellar thing. What we do have is people who are settling the country, people who are making a living, people who are building the basis for what we have today. This here, at first blush, you think, well, okay, it's a display of buttons. But as you begin taking a look at the complexity, the elegance, just the craftsmanship of buttons, we also have some badges too. This is what tells us what people were like. So when we see things like this, we begin to understand that history is not that primitive. We look back, we think these people were extraordinarily primitive. They really weren't. They just had a different approach, different energy source, a different set of resources, but their thinking and their advancements were not that primitive. So another part we have here, this is called a storyboard. One of the things that we need to always understand is that as much as the railroads defined Illinois, so did the roads. The roads are extraordinarily important because these began the centers of commerce between Shelbyville and Springfield and Jacksonville. Extraordinary what these people were doing with these roads. Massive cattle drives came through Piatt County. This section over here, what these are they're called magic lanterns. They are kerosene-lit slide projectors. These slides were glass, and they're either printed or hand-painted scenes. But at this time, the whole concept of seeing something up on the screen was revolutionary. And they were powered by small kerosene lanterns. The focal point was not that far, but they were still magic, hence the word magic lanterns. So with this, they actually had a small film that they would run through and hand crank it, and it would be a movie. So you could actually see a movie, a motion picture. These over here, these are bicycle lanterns. These would go on the front of your bicycle. These here are carriage lanterns. These, of course, would have gone on the front of buggies. How you can tell the difference between front and back is if it went on the front of the buggy, you just had basically a light with a shroud. If it went to the side of the buggy, this is a side mount, you also had the red light so people behind you could see. And these down here are the beginning of the automobiles. So the first two here are still old enough to be on buggies, but this is the transition from horse and buggy to automobiles. Okay, we're open every Thursday night from 5 to 8, and then every third Saturday from 1 until 4. It's free. History is free.
Hey, but wait, there's more. The collections will rotate beginning this fall, so the museum has plenty lined up for the rest of the year. To learn more, we'll connect you to their website on CILiving.tv.
But wait.
There's more. There's always more. And I love how he said history is free. That's
History is free.
unless you're in a big city, in which case it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, I know.
What was your favorite thing?
My favorite thing?
there?
I thought the movie projectors were pretty neat. And all the little slides, they're all hand-painted. That was pretty cool to see.
And the sort of headlights for buggies and cars and stuff seem pretty cool.
I know.
Very cool.
You could put one of those on your bike, Tim.
I could.
Go to work super early in the morning.
Me and E.T. would just pedal ourselves to the moon.
Exactly.
Thanks, Aaron.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Hey, time